does not matter what you believe or what you don't believe. Well, of course, no media can stop Yoruba nation. Boba media don't support Yoruba nation. That is their own cup of tea. Boba Omo Yoruba don't support Yoruba nation. That is your own problem. Toba ìwọ náà tó ń gbọ́ mi ó sọ pé o ṣe Yorùbá nation mọ́. That is your problem, not our own. Ṣé rí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ gbogbo wa, a lot of us tẹ́ ń gbọ́, they are not interested pé kí Yorùbá nation kó wá sí reality, and not single of them, not a one of them or two of them can stop the movement. Kò ń ṣorí social media láti máa gba country. I have told you this many times. Ibi tá ti máa gba Yorùbá country wa has to be ilẹ̀ tá ń béèrè fún. So I wonder when a lot of people call me and say, àwọn gbọ́ pé àwọn media kan ní kò ń ṣe Yorùbá nation rally ló kàn ní sí. Problem tí wọ́n nìyẹn, kò ń ṣe problem tàwa. Whether they are home based, whether they are not even in Yoruba nation media, whether they are just ordinary mainstream media, it is entirely up to you and me, our Toku, to stop it, to stop the existence of Nigeria. Tó bá jẹ́ pé àwa 500 ló bá kù, I believe that 500 can do a lot of miracles. Tẹ́ bá ń dúró de pé àwọn fracas media, àwọn media tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ, most of them wọ́n lè kúrò nínú yàrá wọn tó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ kó tẹ̀ jáde sí títì. Tẹ́ bá ń dúró de pé àwọn media tí politicians ń lò don't fight the battle to save Nigeria. It is up to us, Yoruba people, to say enough is enough, or we remain slaves forever. So the topic is moving forward. I wonder when some say, I want to only control 1,000 Yoruba people, nílé. Some of the medias, even àwọn tó jẹ́ gbòógì media, they cannot pull out 1,000 people. Àwọn yẹn lè fẹ́ kọ́ distracting pé Yoruba nation rally or Yoruba nation or whatever you want to call it. They will distract it. It is too late. Not even this platform can stop Yoruba nation. And gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ, and I remain the last man standing. Gbogbo wọn pátá, we all have different dedication to this movement. Our loyalty will be tested very soon. Loyalty gbogbo àwa tí a tẹ̀lé Baba Akintoye àti Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ and the YSDL. This is the time that loyalty will be tested. Mo ti sọ fún yín láti bí a couple of weeks pé kò ń ṣe gbogbo àwa tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation la fẹ́ gba country. The battle to save ourselves is not yet over. The battle is still ongoing. A lè gbọ́dọ̀ relent at any stage. Àwọn tí wọ́n fi dá ìrìn àjò yìí rú wọ́n pọ̀ ju àwa tí a fẹ́ rìn àjò yìí kó tètè move síwájú. But like I said, we got to be very strong, extremely strong. We are dealing with many phases of the problems. Gbogbo àwa tí adaṣọbora tẹ̀ ń wò yìí kọ́ ni a fẹ́ kí Yorùbá nation kó wáyé o. There are many of them that are obstacles. But àwọn wo là ń sọ yìí? There could be people that you know or people that you don't even know. We are fighting a spiritual warfare already. But one thing tí mo kàn fẹ́ kí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ṣọkan akin tí a ti determine is that we will forge ahead with or without them. And now I'm talking in parables, and I'll leave it like that for now. There are many obstacles that is crossing the path of the movement for the last 5 years. What I tell you, it is either key Yoruba law or more difficult for Nigeria to continue to operate. So I got to work very careful not to be distracted. A lot of things will continue to surface, totally more distracted away from the movement. Koda, editor 100% sure, out of my doubt, pé ó dà pé kò likely kí ní àjò yìí kó bọ́ sí. Iṣẹ́ tèmi ni láti sọ fún yín pé ẹ jẹ́ ká wà very strong in mind, in spirit, physically and mentally. Ìrìn àjò tá gbé dání is a big task tó máa mú a lot of pain tí wọ́n ti fi wá ṣe for donkey's years prior before today. Ìdí tí mo ṣe sọ pé it's not a play. Wọ́n ṣe script. We are not producing a Yoruba nation. We are working towards to have a country. But the obstacle to have this country is vast. Obstacle yẹn pọ̀ gan. Some of you might probably around feelings here, but torí pé ẹ wà determined in the last 5 years, ẹ move away from pé kẹ́ má wà lára yín. I want us to believe that you have our leaders that are determined that Yoruba nation becomes a reality. We know who our leaders are. Tabatimu, the elderly man that is 90 years old, far older than all the politicians that are currently running from the presidency to the governors and the deputy and the commissioners. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ní tó wà above the age tó lè supersede Professor Banji Akintoye. Gbogbo wọn pátá, they are far below his age today. I am not talking about àwọn tí bàbá jọ wà ní the same age bracket. But Tabanika wo the whole Yoruba politicians today, gbogbo wọn pátá, none of them is the same age pẹ̀lú bàbá Akintoye. And that shows that if we are to trust anyone today, we can only put our trust on Professor Adebanji Akintoye. I trust Tinubu, neither can we trust any of our governors. But these are the people that we are fighting against to have a country. These are the people that becomes our greatest challenge moving forward, according to the title of the broadcast today, being the 2nd of May 2025. Àwọn tó jẹ́ alátakò tí wọ́n máa water down movement yìí, òun làwọn politicians. But àwọn tí politicians máa lò against us are the same people like you and me. Ẹlẹ́ran ara bí tèmi àti ẹ ló máa lò. It could even be somebody that is close to you, but you might not know. Ó lè jẹ́ ẹni tí ó súnmọ́ ẹ tí o mọ̀, but ó ní mọ̀. Mo ní lè sọ, mo wà lórí ètò, mo wà lórí program, ìyẹn mo ṣe ń cut yín off. Mo wà lórí program, mo ń ṣe live lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Mo wà lórí program, ẹ sọ fún wa pé lẹ́yìn ètò. All right. So let us be very strong. Into Bamu, Professor Akintoye, with his age, to endure all the pain in the last 5 years. Kò sóríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà tí wọ́n ti lò fún bàbá yẹn. Kò síríṣiríṣi ète tí wọ́n ti gbé wá. But this man still remain firm. Wọ́n sì ṣọ̀kan akin. In tó bá ti lè mú bàbá ṣọ̀kan akin, I don't think àwa tí a wà below his age, whether you are 10 years below Baba's age, 20 years, 40 years, 30 years, 50 years, ẹ jẹ́ kó kálukú minus 90 from their age. Take away 90 from your age, and then you realize that those years, tí bàbá fi ju gbogbo wa lọ, tí kò dẹ̀ give up. I don't think any one of us should be tired or give up. We are going into the very difficult stage of the movement. It's not an easy stage. It's one of the most difficult stages. I'm sure you know that. I don't need to tell you. Everyone knows that. Wọ́n gbìyànjú gan. They're fighting all the battles with Yoruba nation who crash. It is too late. I can tell you that. Will it crash? Not because I am saying it, it's because it is too late to crash such a magnitude movement. But what ta lè ṣe ni pé a gbọ́dọ̀ jókòó tatarata ká wá ní kó lè crash. Nítorí pé the enemies are not sleeping as well. They are working day and night. Àwọn ọ̀tá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ round the clock pé kí movement kó crash. Wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ round the clock. Wọ́n lè succeed. Ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe lè succeed ni pé tó bá jẹ́ àìgbóhùn síta pé a fẹ́ country wa, it could have been easy for them. But the fact that a ti gbé ohùn síta pé a fẹ́ exit Nigeria, that echo itself has a powerful meaning. But the battle is not yet over. Battle pé kí Yorùbá kó dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè, kó dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí country tiẹ̀. That battle has just started. We have a lot of obstacles of many important people. I'm going to take you there. I'm just taking it gradually so that kí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lè yé gbogbo wa dáadáa. Torí pé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ lómi máa ní such a thing cannot happen. But àwa tí a fẹ́ country, a gbọ́dọ̀ protect it. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo ta ní pátápátá. Such a thing cannot happen. A gbọ́dọ̀ defend it. A dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ dúró tì. A gbọ́dọ̀ protect it, defend it, a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ dúró tì. Tí a bá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí country will become a reality. But tó bá yẹ pé a kàn ń ní just to wind ourselves, as many of you have seen from all different angles, láti bí ọdún márùn-ún, we are up against millions of obstacles. And that danger has not left yet. We are in a very tight situation where you look at the whole movement and those that you know and those you don't know want to truncate it. Let's go straight to this to start with. Gbogbo wa la mọ̀ arákùnrin kan tó ń pè ní Dr. AKINWUNMI ADESINA. Òun ni the president of the African Development Bank, AFDB. Arákùnrin ọmọ Yorùbá ni, but is an obstacle for the Yoruba movement, just as many. I'm sure when nígbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ program, your mind goes to different areas. Yes, àwọn areas the mind yìí sọ yẹn náà is not omitted, but they are very minor. And I don't want to focus my energy with those minor because I want you kidding. Most of us think that the bá ti jókòó tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa nísìn nígbà tẹ́ pé gbogbo ayé ló ń gbọ́ wa. I can categorically tell you it's a lie. We know because technology is good now. And technology ti fún wa ní the back end to know that tabako gbogbo Yorùbá nation tó ń sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ country in the last 5 years. Tabako gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀. Àìtí tó voice tí arákùnrin tí mo dárúkọ yìí tí mo pè ní AKINWUNMI ADESINA. Our voice has not hit enough than his own voice. Nìkan tó ń gbé dání Project Nigeria àti táwa gbé dání Project Yorùbá Nation. So tí mídíà kan láàrin wa tó bá wá ń sọ pé àwọn ìtí ready kò tún wọn kan lára movement yìí kò tẹ̀ ní meaning. It will be good that they understand this. Tẹ́ bá ń pọ́n gbogbo wa lé, it's just like ọ̀pọ̀n wa lé ni. But the reality base is that àwọn programs kankan tí gbogbo wa lọ ń wò tí a fi náà ṣe program kò tó voice arákùnrin with the statement tí mo kà láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ tí mo fi gbé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ wá síwájú ọmọ Yorùbá. Like I said, those obstacles tí mo sọ pé ó ṣì wà níbẹ̀ mo mú wọn kúrò. We'll come back to those ones, but let's come to this man. Ta ni wọ́n ń pè ní AKINWUNMI ADESINA? Who is he? Kí la mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀? Àti pé irú èèyàn wo ló jẹ́? Torí pé voice ẹ̀ as long as tóun náà bá sì ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí platform tiẹ̀ nìkan tó ń bá lọ, ó ní millions of people tó agree tó dẹ̀ believe pé in tó ń sọ yẹn òtítọ́ àti ẹ̀rí wà níbẹ̀. Now, àwa wà lábẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè. How do we make the push láti challenge AKINWUNMI ADESINA tó jẹ́ president African Development Bank tá à ń pè ní AFDB? Ṣé n tá à ń sọ ní social media space yìí ló máa stop agenda tiẹ̀ lórí wa? Because agenda tiẹ̀ àti tiwa nísìn èwo ló gbọ́dọ̀ supersede ara wọn, èwo ló gbọ́dọ̀ ní weight jura wọn lọ? Ṣé weight tiẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ ju tiwa lọ àbí tiwa gbọ́dọ̀ ju tiẹ̀ lọ? Gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe gbọ́ nínú biography ẹ̀, a rí pé àgbẹ̀ ni bàbá ẹ̀, bàbá tó bí AKINWUNMI ADESINA àgbẹ̀ ni. Ìlú Ìbàdàn ní Ọ̀yọ́ State. He attended Ejigbo Baptist High School. AKINWUNMI ADESINA was born to a Nigerian farmer in Ibadan, Ọ̀yọ́ State. He attended Ejigbo Baptist High School. He had a bachelor degree in agricultural economics with a first-class honor. Ẹni tó mọ̀wé dáadáa ni tọ́lọ̀ ń fún ní ẹ̀bùn. Just like gbogbo àná la mọ̀ pé Elédùmarè fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní ẹ̀bùn tó pọ̀. University of Ife, àmọ́ ti di Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ University lẹ́nìí ní 1981. He was the first student to be awarded this distinction by the university. He went further, lọ sí America, láti lọ further studies there, just like many Yoruba people that are Nigerians have done as well. Ní Purdue University ní Indiana. Ó padà sí Nigeria ní 1984. I want you to take note of that year, 1984. As at the time tóun padà sí Nigeria in 1984, Professor Adebanji Akintoye, from what we know, bàbá ti give lecture ní South Korea in 1982 nípa pé bí Nigeria ṣe máa better off tó máa dá with human capacity, pé kódà kò ń ṣe pò nìkan kọ́ ni àríláìlè. Mo fẹ́ ká dibẹ̀ yẹn mú dáadáa. Ó ṣèyàwó ní 1984. Ó gba PhD ní agricultural economics ní 1988 láti Purdue University in Indiana, nílùú America, where he won the outstanding PhD thesis for his research work. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe comparison ẹni tó ṣe agriculture, which is a good path for Yoruba land. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí bóyá torí pé àgbẹ̀ ni bàbá ẹ̀, ó fall in love ló ṣe lọ fún agric, I believe so. Ká wá fi compare ẹni tó gbé history Africa dání àti Yoruba. I hope you can see the two weight. Ìyẹn bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè. A wá rí pé Professor Akíntóyè, after many years, táwọn náà ti ṣe gbogbo tó yẹ kó ṣe across the globe, just like Akínwùnmí bá ṣe lọ nísìn, bàbá padà pé the future tó wà fún Yorùbá ó rí pé kàkà dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí an independent Yoruba country. But the obstacle tá a ní nísìn tí mo ní we are facing, òun ni èèyàn bí Akínwùnmí Adesina tó ń project pé in 25 years from today, Nigeria can be accelerated back where development in Madiba. I don't know how you want to take that information. Òun jẹ́ kó yé wa nísìn pé within 25 years, tí Nigeria bá get ara together, kódà Nigeria máa dájú any other planet lénìí. This particular man, ọ̀tálẹ̀ Yorùbá lòun náà, ṣe rí pé weight tiẹ̀ ó ju weight àwọn tẹ́yìn lérò pé bóyá mo fẹ́ máa refer sí lọ, because mo mọ̀ pé nígbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀, it is easy for us to attach the discussion to a particular person or particular group or particular individual. Like I said, àwọn yẹn wà níbẹ̀, they are not there, they are still there. But this particular one tí mò ń sọ yìí, weight tó ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn is another agenda tó ń prepare sílẹ̀ after Tinubu. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. This agenda, wọ́n máa ń nọ́ọ̀sì wọn sílẹ̀ ni, so that tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí nọ́ọ̀sì wọn nísìn, asset kan lòun náà to the globalist and the international criminal organization. Wọ́n máa present it fún wa, probably tabawa. I'm trying to be very cautious with the language I'm trying to use, especially ìgbà tí mo sì mi ti ní kí n fi ọ̀rọ̀ ìpè sílẹ̀ àti all that. But tabawa stupid enough, tá a bá move to get our result between now and the next 2 years, ẹ lọ máa múra sílẹ̀ fún arákùnrin after Tinubu. But kò ń ṣe immediately after Tinubu, that will be subject to a lot of negotiation tí Northerners bá ṣe tán after many years. This man will be brought out again láti wá rule wa nínú Nigeria. Ẹ máa bèrè pé báwo mo ṣe work it out. I was able to work it out after I saw the article today. I read the article and I tried to find a meaning to the background of ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ. Mo ti fún yín ní background ẹ̀. Now let's talk about kí ló sọ gangan tó fi di pé à ń point finger sóhun as one of our obstacles. Bí Yorùbá bá fẹ́ dá dúró, a gbọ́dọ̀ prepare fún obstacle, another danger tó ń pè ní Akínwùnmí Adesina. I'm sure pé àwọn tó mọ̀ dáadáa láàrin wa wọ́n wà ní. I'm sure pé lára àwọn tájọ́ ń ṣe Yorùbá nation, ẹ lè jẹ́ family friend àbí. So while tí àwa ń push pé ká gba Yorùbá nation, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mọ̀ either through a friend, ẹ jọ lọ sí school ni, ẹ ti jọ pàdé ní gathering ni, but ẹ fojú sí pé obstacle kan náà nílé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo ohun tó sọ ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú. Ẹ má bínú, mọ̀ nílé máa dárúkọ gbogbo ẹni mo kí. According to the news tó ń jáde lénìí láàárọ̀ yìí, and like I said, wow, tẹ́mi bá ṣe program báyìí nísìn, tí mo bá post nǹkan sí the same time, ìyẹn mo sọ fún yín pé ẹ̀mọ̀ kan mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan that these individuals, his voice is quite wider than the whole voice of gbogbo our media tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Because the Yoruba Nation media bá post nǹkan kan sórí Twitter látàárọ̀, bóyá ló máa rí traction 1,000 view. I know that because I am on Twitter mo dẹ̀ mọ àwọn tájọ́ wà lórí Twitter tájọ́ ń ṣe Yorùbá Nation, and apart from pé àwọn tájọ́ ṣe Yorùbá Nation, I don't think anybody has a strong followership like I do on Twitter, at least with the total number. But àwọn total number yẹn kò ń ṣe gbogbo wọn ní Yorùbá, àwọn tó kọ̀ fall in love pẹ̀lú nǹkan tá gbé dání látara iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe, they are half of it, and the remaining half àwọn tó kàn wo kí ni a pé mú jáde pẹ̀lú ìrìn àjò yìí, and quarter péré ló jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá Nation. And that's why if a message from AKINWUNMI ADESINA with mine goes online, there is tendency pé tí ẹ máa push ju tèmi lọ. That means pé ó gain traction to save Nigeria while we are pushing láti jẹ́ pé kárí country wa gbà tá à ń pè ní Yorùbá Nation. How do we defeat it? We'll come back to the solution. But as you review danger that we are facing during this very last part of the movement, just in, this was posted by a particular page, Nigerian Stories, with a followership of 604,000. Àwa tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá Nation, àjù nọ́mbà yẹn lọ, but we prefer gossip and drama. I prefer bí tí wọ́n ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí kò ní any reason or impact to the movement. And àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, they are great obstacles to this movement. Àwọn tí wọ́n ò nífẹ̀ẹ́ movement yẹn rárá, but for whatever reason, a ṣì ń believe pé tá a bá gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ wọn, a máa fún wa ní inspiration pé Yorùbá máa dá dúró, even though àwọn ti kúrò lórí ìrìn àjò, they have become a distractors to the movement. But because nígbà tá a bá jókòó tí ọ̀dọ̀ wọn, ibi tẹ́ ká lọ tackle, ká challenge, àwa Yorùbá nìkan la kì í challenge. So let's see what he has said so that ká lè ní understanding what I've been talking about in the last 1 hour. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí, and happy new month. Just in, the president of the African Development Bank, AFDB, open and close bracket, Dr. AKINWUNMI ADESINA, has warned that Nigeria is facing a deeper economic regression than many realize. Remember, I want to switch because I'm using the software for the Facebook, so I can use that for the view. The president of the African Development Bank, Dr. AKINWUNMI ADESINA, has warned that Nigeria is facing a deeper economic regression than many realize, stating that with a current GDP per capita of just 824, Nigerians are significantly worse off than they were at independence in 1960. I'll explain all that to us in a minute. Now, let's go to the next paper. The next paper that talked about the same storyline is Tribune, Nigerian Tribune. AFD president advocates rapid reforms for Nigeria economy. Rapid, because it is shishe, nikiakia, so that key economy in Nigeria, kole, lilo siwaju, key prosperity, àti ìdàgbàsókè, kí gbogbo ọmọ Nigeria kó lè rí tiẹ̀ ṣe nínú Nigeria. I'm going to read that again, and then we will look into this, in tó sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Màá wá lọ link ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú kan tí arákùnrin kan sọ rí ní November 4. Mo ti ṣe program yẹn ní last year, 2024, tó ń pè ní David Lamy. And I want you to start thinking now that, okay, this is another preparation of lies being cooked. Bí àgbà tó ti rí pé ti David Lamy yẹn, ọmọ Caribbean ni, òun ṣọmọ Nigeria. Bí àtọ́ bá kúkú wá lu ọmọ Yorùbá, bóyá yẹn convince many Yorubas to stop thinking that Yoruba nation ni ọ̀nà àbáyọ, but there might still be a future in Nigeria. AKINWUNMI ADESINA, the obstacle, as many of them. So let's go further. Yes, I want to military with David Lamy in 50 years. Many years to sọ nísìn. Bí àgbà tí David Lamy farabalẹ̀ tó gbọ́, because you might not know or know what now tí wọ́n follow gbogbo àwọn channels wa kò sí movement kan tí ó bá dìde láyé wọ́n ní àwọn committee tó monitor ẹ̀ ṣe má rò pé bóyá bá ṣe ń pariwo Yorùbá nation yìí kò sí àwọn committee tó monitor ẹ̀ from each countries wọ́n monitor ẹ̀ because of their own gain not because of me and you wọ́n kàn fi mọ how serious and how determined the movement are tó bá dẹ̀ ti wá rí the seriousness of the movement like I said at the beginning they need to start working to destabilize it to make sure that they crumble it from top to bottom débi pé kódà ẹlòmíà fẹ́ sọ pé tó bá yá yín you understand what I mean and this has always been so àti rí ẹ̀rírí where CIA has killed many innocent people they have destabilized countries around the world do not think that US Britain France Germany Italy and many of those countries will not derail this movement kódà ó pé wọn kọ́ tètè derail ẹ̀ kẹ́ tó jáde fúnra lè and they will use people like me and you like I said kódà àwọn tí tẹ́ fọkàn sí àwọn ọlọ́mà lò so the battle pé ká fi gba country àṣẹ wọ ṣòkòtò yẹn ni o and this is where we know who is in and who is out ẹni tó bá náà out àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ fún ìtò ti ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ kó ṣàjókòó sókè rẹ̀ àbí kó jókòó sísàlẹ̀ kó máa wà wá tó kù bóyá a máa lè parí iṣẹ́ yẹn or not if it is only 500 of us that is ready to complete this task it is a mandate that we need to complete it nítorí pé many of us and those that are against it we still have a better future. Let's go further. The president of the African Development Bank, Dr. AKINWUNMI ADESINA, has urged Nigeria to accelerate its economic transformation to become a developed country by 2050. Ibi tí mo kàn fi kà fún yín nìyẹn. Ṣé rí gbogbo ibi tó kù tí bá ní kí n máa kà is a waste of time. Kò ní meaning. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo 2050 from today. How many years is that? Tá bá yọ 2050 ká minus it from 2025 ọdún mélòó nìyẹn? Ẹ rí pé tá bá yọ 2050 tá yọ kúrò nínú 2025 that's 25 years. AKINWUNMI ADESINA sọ fún wa nísìn pé in 25 years from today Nigeria economy will transform and it will become a developed country. No more developing. Because ìyàtọ̀ wà láàrin developed and developing. It is not for me to tell him or advise him. Ẹni tó mọ̀wé dáadáa ni at least àti ka background ẹ̀ àti rí pé ó gba PhD ó mọ̀wé dáadáa. But ẹ jẹ́ ká wá lo brain power Baba Akintoye. Ẹ mọ̀ pé nísìnyí mo sọ pé Adesina náà tá bá yọ age ẹ̀ kúrò whatever his age is age of tí lè tó Baba Akintoye. Káwa wá lo brain Baba Akintoye ká fi down sí tó ń sọ yìí pé ṣé ó possible pé Baba Akintoye ń parọ́ fún wa ni pé Nàìjíríà ò ní wà developed in 25 years ló ṣe ní pé kí a lọ rọ́lu ikú tá bá jáde fúnra lè. Ṣé ibi tí mo fẹ́ gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn gbà nísìn? Ṣé ó possible pé Ìgbòho ń parọ́ fún wa pé tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá bá dìde Nàìjíríà dẹ̀ ṣì máa dá whereas Ìgbòho mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà máa dá ó dẹ̀ push pé ká lọ gba Yorùbá nation ká force ara wa gbà torí a fi force ara wa gbà ni o kò ń ṣe tán máa ń fúnyàn lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ pé a fẹ́ gba Yorùbá country a fẹ́ force ara wa gbà kúrò lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n mú Nàìjíríà dúró bíi AKINWUNMI ADESINA the president of the African Development Bank. Now mo nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ 25 years màá rán yín létí padà èyí tí David Lammy sọ nígbà tá a ṣe program ti David Lammy ní last year November nígbà tí David Lammy ti Britain ìyẹn King Charles because gbogbo iṣẹ́ tí David Lammy ṣe on behalf of the monarchy system ló ṣe but in reverse gbogbo iṣẹ́ tí Tinubu ṣe lénìí kò ṣe on behalf of any of our kings torí pé àwọn ọba have been relegated their position is as useless as anything you can think of. You might agree with me or you might disagree but tó bá agree pẹ̀lú mi ní kí ọba kan pàṣẹ ní palace kí gọ́vnà bá nà lẹ́gba. Tẹ́ bá rántí èyí tẹ́ bá ń tẹ̀lé mi dáadáa mo ní bíbá international platform yìí I am a journalist because kò ń ṣe pé kí n kàn jáde nísìnyí kí n máa pariwo rally ń bọ̀ ẹ tó bá náà wò gbọ́ pé rally ń bọ̀ is their own cup of tea it's not my problem tẹ́ni ẹni yẹn but the obstacle tó lè derail movement òun lè ní sọ̀rọ̀ lé nísìn ó wá kù sí mi ó kù sí wọ whether o fẹ́ protect the interest Adesina àbò fẹ́ protect interest bàbá Akíntóyè àwa ló kù sí lọ́wọ́ àti mọ̀bí tí interest bàbá Akíntóyè tó láì interest ọmọ Yorùbá ni interest Adésínà interest Nàìjíríà ni ó dẹ̀ wà ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fáwọn kan náà ni just like bí bàbá Akíntóyè ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ fáwa náà àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá la máa wá fi ọmọ kọ́ wọn gbogbo wọn àtọbìnrin wa àtọmọdé o àtẹni tó ní physical challenge àtẹni tó wà òkè àtẹni tó wà òkè torí gbogbo àwọn tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation kọ́ ni àwa òkè but majority àwọn tó ń bẹ nílé lẹ́ni tá à ń pè ní ọmọ Yorùbá there are 60 million of them tí wọ́n ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ lóòótọ́ àwọn ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó ń dìde àárín wọn lórí social media mo wò kan láàárọ̀ ìpè mo ní dárúkọ platform yẹn because I'm not here to criticize any platform wọ́n ní ká wá fún yín lówó ni láti ìlú òyìnbó ẹ bá wa ṣàdúrà fún wọn it's good ẹ̀ ń fáwọn náà lówó ojoojúmọ́ ti bá jí 20 pounds 50 pounds 100,000 20,000 kódà àwọn ẹni fún wa ní 2,000 I am very grateful látara pé à ń ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ̀ ń rí but àwọn táwọn fún lówó ní the other side àwọn ń ṣiṣẹ́ gbowó rẹ ni fún wọn ní support ìyẹn ni diaspora ṣe kick in làwọn owó tẹ máa ń fáwọn èèyàn pé báwa lọ fáwọn ẹni báyìí látara pé wọ́n ń gbé fídíò wọn wá bá yín how long we can do that I don't know tèmi bá sọ nísìnyí pé kẹ má fún mi lówó mọ́ rárá á jẹ́ pé mo ti determine pé mo máa padà sí London màá dẹ̀ lọ wáṣẹ́ ọ̀ mo máa jókòó sínú Africa màá máa wá nǹkan tí màá máa fi pọwọ́dà ìkànnì méjèèjì mi I can say it pé ẹ ní láti fún mi lówó mọ́ but because in ti David Lamy sọ ní November last year mo wá ń try láti wò ó pé ṣé wọ́n tún gé ọdún yẹn kúrú ni nítorí pé in ti David Lamy sọ fún wa was 50 years ló máa take Nàìjíríà láti wà developed láti jẹ́ kó ní progression kódà kí ayé gbogbo wa ó lè ní ìlọsíwájú David Lamy sọ yẹn fún wa ní last year I'm going to tell you and remind you as how the statement ìlú òyìnbó wọn fi statement síta kó tó wá ní àwọn òfin síta mọ́ àwọn iṣẹ́ yẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá sọ wọn kò sọ pé àwọn ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ and that is why I am asking all the believers of this movement kí ni nǹkan ta fẹ́ àti pé ọ̀nà wo ló kù ta fẹ́ fi gbà òun ni analysis tá à ń bá lọ yìí kò dìgbà tí bá jáde tí mò ń jágbe tí mò ń pariwo bó bas a kàn fìyẹn encourage ara wa ni but determination pa pé gba country inú ẹ̀mí olúkálukú ló máa wà ó wà nínú ẹ̀mí tèmi ṣó wà nínú ẹ̀mí tiẹ̀ it is entirely up to you to decide that I cannot help you on that decision but èyí tí mo mọ̀ ni pé no matter who you are níbikíbi tó bá wà lágbàáyé o lè dáná ìjọ ìdúró mọ́ kódà kò ní gbẹtugbẹtu kódà kò ní àfọ̀ṣẹ kódà kò máa fi Jésù síwájú àbí kó lo ànábì o lè stop it mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sí pé káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa it is exactly 5 days after my broadcast on Sunday I've been releasing audios and many of you have come across it one way or the other but pé a máa jáde ó dijọ́ karùn-ún lé ní kò sí àwọn tó ṣe mí o I've just decided to do other things while I am back again with the broadcast. Mo kí Professor Adebanji Akintoye, mo kí Káyọ̀dé Ẹmọ̀lá, mo kí Olóyèbó Ọmọdéyẹmọ. Mo mọ̀ pé bàbá wà lórí ètò because I've shared the link with him. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn YSD, mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo groups gba kúṣẹ́ takuntakun. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sọ́dọ̀ kí ni David Lamy sọ during his visit to Nigeria in November 3rd as published and press release under the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, another very powerful position controlled by Britain. Growth, tó bá sọ pé growth, in tó ń wù, in tó fẹ́ dàgbà, at the act of foreign secretary visit, ìlú méjì ló lọ, a sọ̀rọ̀ nípa tiwa, ìlú kejì South Africa ni. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa a visit to Nigeria. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, ìjọ possible pé growth máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nigeria between now and 100 years. Kàmáì tí wàá sọ 50 years tó ń sọ, kàmáì tí wàá sọ 25 years tí Akínwùnmí Adesina náà sọ. Ṣé rí gbogbo tó ń ṣe yìí? Wọ́n projected, wọ́n prepare ẹmọ̀dí nítorí pé lẹ́tà tí bàbá Akíntóyè gbé fún Britain, ọba Britain ló ní kó gbé fún, kò ń ṣe prime minister because prime minister tó ta lọ deliver fún mo ní lẹ́tà yẹn ó wà lọ́wọ́ King Charles dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé báwo la ṣe fẹ́ challenge authority àwọn it's like pé a fẹ́ challenge authority Britain òun nìkan tá à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí authority wo ni authority pé Britain ni ó ṣe ń pàṣẹ nínú Nàìjíríà forget about independent ní independent kankan anybody tó bá sọ fún yín pé ẹ ti gba independent ní independent àṣẹ ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wà nínú ẹ̀ including gbogbo tó ń bẹ lórí ẹ̀ including me and you Britain ló ní lọ́wọ́ and Britain is a very cunning country just like America just like Europe just like Asia interest tí wọn ó gbọ́dọ̀ come first before your own interest kí n tó ka ntí David Lammy sọ there was a report coming out this morning nípa America ìjẹ́ tó bá sọ fún yín pé ní America bó ṣe dagbó yẹn tó ṣe dòdò tá máa ń rí glamour táwọn èèyàn máa ń sẹ́ndì dọ́là sí wa tó ń sẹ́ndì sí mi náà tó bá sọ fún yín pé ọmọ tó tó 350,000 was missing during that criminal government tó ń pè ní Joe Biden will you believe it tó bá sọ fún ẹ̀yin àtẹ̀mí pé nígbà kan nílẹ̀ ayé tá a wà yìí ní Amẹ́ríkà bó ṣe dà tó tí a máa ń gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ mẹ́ta àwọn ṣoríire níbẹ̀ tó ń kọ́lé tó ń ra mọ́tò tó ń sọ́ndé owó sílé pé 350,000 children could be missing wà nílò ọ̀nà bàbí let me quickly give you that before we go back to Britain mo kàn fi jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ dájú pé kò sẹ́ni kankan tó máa wá bá yín ṣe tá a fẹ́ ṣe nígbà tó bá ti ní ká jáde fún rally tó bá ń dúró de interest America pé ó máa wá ràn yín lọ́wọ́ a máa jókòó and this dialogue will never even be fruitful because oríṣiríṣi power ni gbogbo wọn jọ ń lò wọ́n máa ń lò nígbà tó bá favour wọn at every country around the world and right now America rí this movement that is going to favour them presently right now wọ́n rí pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá máa favour wọn wọ́n sì prefer pé kí Nàìjíríà exist but àwa la máa kọ̀ tá a bá dẹ̀ ti kọ̀ we are going to be slaves forever like the headline of the topic says in this broadcast moving forward we determine to remain in Nigeria ṣe dáwọn olóṣèlú Tinubu látòkè délẹ̀ tó bá àwọn Tinubu kó pa gbogbo wa Nigeria will still not exist and Tinubu náà fẹ́rẹ̀ náà máa padà kú náà ni ọ̀nà méjì ni but ǹjẹ́ àwa determine pé a ready with our lives to go forward and get this freedom that is where the bottom line is tẹ bá dúró pé media kan wá ń sọ pé òun ti ready àwọn àtàwọn àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ wọ́n wà irrelevant in the movement anyway tẹ́lẹ̀ like I said mo kó gbogbo wa including me ọ̀rọ̀ tí Akínwùmí Adésínà sọ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ ó ti go faster than any YouTube video tẹ́ wò in the last 72 hours it doesn't matter whatever the video including tèmi tí ẹ wò tẹ́lẹ̀ torí mi ò ṣe live but at least tí mo àkànṣe program tí mo dẹ̀ ti upload ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá calculate gbogbo video tẹ́ lọ wò lórí pé à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation kò tí ì tó ọ̀rọ̀ tí Akínwùmí Adésínà sọ but tí a bá gbé ọ̀rọ̀ atẹ́jáde tán tí kò dẹ̀ ṣe pé a fi ń ṣẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà tí olóyè bá dúró pẹ̀lú wa tí ó dẹ̀ wà lẹ́yìn wa tí bàbá Akíntóyè wà lẹ́yìn wa tó dúró pẹ̀lú wa tí àwa náà wá dúró tì wọ́n torí pé mo lè sọ fún yín categorically today kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló fẹ́ dúró tí olóyè Ìgbòho àti bàbá Akíntóyè I will leave that for now kò ń ṣe gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ló fẹ́ dúró I am talking about àwọn tá a jọ ń ṣe movement yìí ni mo sọ nísìn there are many obstacles like I said at the beginning confronting this movement so that they can derail it kí ni gain wọn it's just the same thing kò ṣe pọ́n ní any gain it is the agenda that tí Yorùbá bá ti lọ ó máa favour ọmọ Yorùbá kó tó favour ẹ̀yà míì kàmá tí wàá sọ òyìnbó so àwọn tó máa lò náà tó máa wà against it these are the same set of people that we know prior before the movement now let's not swiftly because of the time Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has reiterated his claim linking the US government to child sex trafficking, referencing an allegation originally promoted by Donald Trump that over 300,000 migrant children went missing during President Joe Biden administration. Do you know what that means? Pé ní ìgbà tí Joe Biden wà lórí oyè as the president, the same Joe Biden tó wà in coerce with the Nigerian government tí wọ́n mọ̀ títọ́ tí wọ́n dákẹ́ tí wọ́n sọ. If tabadro pé we are waiting for any of these foreign countries to come and liberate us, we might as well forget about the movement and say we close it and everybody goes home. But tá bá ti gbà pé ní dúró de any country since tó jẹ́ pé ibi tá à ń béèrè country wa fún kò yàtọ̀ sí ibi tá a mọ̀ tí wọ́n pè ní ilẹ̀ wa then we need to defend it with everything that we have. Gbogbo tá bá ní pátáláyé àtọ̀run gbogbo ọgbọ́n gbogbo strategy tí Nàìjíríà máa fi derail ní 2025 tí ọ̀rọ̀ 2027 ò tí ní máa wá sí ìmúṣẹ it starts with you and me eléyìí ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ Ìgbòho nìkan kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ bàbá Akíntóyè you play your role I will play mine role kan lè mi play ìwọ náà lọ play role tiẹ̀ but a bá ń dúró pé ìlú tí kò lè protect 300,000 children tó fi di pé wọ́n traffic wọn fún sex ní Amẹ́ríkà ìlú yẹn la wá ń gbọ́kànlé pé wọ́n ń bọ̀ wá ràn wá lọ́wọ́. This movement is not going anywhere. So whether you come out at any point tó bá ti ní kájọ jáde or you don't come out is as simple as becoming slaves forever. Let's go back to David Lammy at his visit to Nigeria in November last year, and this was the press release. So wọ́n sọ fún wa pé in táwọn gbé síwájú Nàìjíríà lélẹ́ yìí o kí gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà kó embrace ẹ̀ àtọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ nínú ẹ̀. The same thing náà ni tabaníkà lọ wò èyí ni 2nd of May tó bá dọ̀la ni 3rd of May. That is the day that my dad died in 1982. Tó bá ma fi dọ̀la kọ́nà kó bá mi kẹ́ wọn kó tẹ́ wọn sáfẹ́fẹ́ rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn òkú wa. Before I started the program, you can see that I was a little bit emotional and all that. It's not because of the movement alone. I was receiving another sad news. Ìkànnì àwọn ìyá wa tí a jọ ṣe movement. Kódà, she was the first woman that arrived at the BBC Center ní October last year. The daughter, almost 34 years old, ó jáde láyé ní Nigeria. Yeah. Almost 34 years old, ó jáde láyé ní Nigeria. I will not go into all the details of what led to her death. Don't take this movement for a joke. I beg you. This movement means a lot to many people. Ìyá wa tí mò ń sọ yìí, she was the first woman rally tá a ṣe ní London. Àwọn ọlọ́kọ́kọ́ dé rally yẹn ní BBC. She just told me that the daughter died. I was aware of the daughter had some, but I'll leave that. But I got the news this afternoon that the daughter died about 3 days ago. Let's move forward. Press release, growth at the heart of Foreign Secretary's visit to Nigeria and South Africa. Foreign Secretary David Lammy, Omo Caribbean, visit Nigeria, and this is what we were told about that visit. Nígbà tí David Lammy wá. Economic growth to underpin work in both Nigeria and South Africa. Economic growth to underpin work. What is the meaning of underpin? Tó bá sọ pé underpin. UNDERPIN. Uniform November Delta Echo Romeo Papa India November. The word support building or other structure from below by laying a solid foundation. Ṣé àmọ́ pé nígbà tí mo ṣe program yìí, bí wọ́n bá ṣe program tó bá repeat it, ìmọ̀ oríṣiríṣi àtúmọ̀ jáde. I never use this phrase. Mo really pin it down. But while I was talking about it now, mo kàn rí kí ni meaning under pin. I ṣe àmọ̀ pé nǹkan under in tó wà lábẹ́ pin. Okay, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo dictionary meaning ẹ̀. Britain sọ fún wa nísìnyí pé foundation táwọn lè tẹ́lẹ̀ tó mọ̀ pé ó wà faulty. Tó mọ̀ pé rọ́lọ́pàá fún gbogbo wa láti 1914. Tó mọ̀ pé ó wà disastrous. Kò lè ní any progression fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. The same Britain wá rán èèyàn wá ní 2025 láti wá sọ fún wa pé àwọn fẹ́ build the structure around Nigeria. Àwọn fẹ́ build a solid foundation. So Britain admit nísìnyí pé foundation tó fún wa tẹ́lẹ̀ was a very faulty foundation. Torí kò tẹ̀ jẹ́ kí nǹkan tó ń pè Nàìjíríà wáyé rárá. Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ dissolve ẹ̀ ni àbí wọ́n tó fẹ́ máa tàn wá? Tààlà gbọ́ mí nìyí. Support, kódà wọ́n náà wọ́n fẹ́ justify it this time around or form the basis. So Britain wants to give support to Nigeria to strengthen and put a solid foundation so that Nigeria can work by 2075. I'm trying to keep my emotion down so that I can deliver this message. But sometimes it is very difficult. It's either we destroy this foundation now of a building or we remain slaves forever. I will leave it like that, as simple. Or better, can destroy the new underpin foundation to Britain to fame wide. If we allow the foundation to be rebuilt again, and you know how they're going to rebuild it after Tinubu Batilo, they would have solid ground. Not that Tinubu to one níbẹ̀, ó fún wọn ní tough time. But Tinubu is playing their mind. Ó ń lo France, ó dẹ̀ lo Britain. But wọ́n mọ̀ dájú pé ọwọ́ àwọn northerners tó ń pè ní Fúlàní làwọn ti lè gba power are again in control. Right now, not that they've lost the control permanently, because Sultan of Sokoto still governs the country. But Tinubu being there, whether we like it or not, is a fact. Ocean down, but it is not as solid to prove that Tinubu can give us a Yoruba country within the next 2 years. So better káwa dà bó Tinubu gan nù. Bí Tinubu bá fẹ́ pé gbogbo sójà jáde fún rally tá a fẹ́ ṣe tó ń bọ̀ tí wọ́n máa announce ìjọ láìpẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ kó release gbogbo àwọn ẹrùkú ẹ̀. Káwa náà dẹ̀ determine pé this underpin of this structure must be destroyed. Nigeria ò ní agbára yẹn. And at the Dubai this time around, ó máa difficult for Britain to pin us as say àwọn terrorists làwọn eléyìí, because iṣẹ́ tí Britain ń ṣe at America at àwọn Western countries, we have now seen that from what happened when campaign around the world. Ṣé mo káwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ sọ pé military ni Traoré mọ́ nísìn, even though it was a coup ló fi gbàjọba, àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ ronú pé ọ̀rọ̀ coup mọ́ nísìn nítorí pé kí ni, because wọ́n ti rí pé ó dúró fún something that is unique and different. So it is important that we destroy whatever agenda that can lead us to 2027 and that failure debate. If not, the whole movement has crashed. Taba failed to disturb and disrupt and take everything out. You might as well forget about Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation. After this year, Taba to disrupt. I don't want to use Tinubu 2027, but I am using the underpin in the Britain in law, because if I go to the election in 2027, it's more or less like we are wasting our time. We do not want a structure from Britain anymore, and we're going to destroy it, because I'm not based structure you are. And we can only do it if we go out in unity and in force, and we are determined. There will be cracks, and we have already known those cracks. AKINWUNMI ADESINA, some of our Yoruba world media, some of our Yoruba media rather, some of our medias in Nigeria that are against the Yoruba to rise as people, even though some of them are Yoruba, while some of them are Igbos, while some of them are not Yorubas. But they will do everything to project the outing of the Yoruba rally as people that wants to destroy Tinubu's government. Tinubu doesn't have a government anyway, because the government is controlled from Britain. Tinubu doesn't have a government because the government is controlled from outside the world. Tinubu is just a puppet, just like the previous president, just like all the military that have run Nigeria, because they were under the instruction of the monarchy system from Britain. This fight is either we fight it to the end, or we might as well just close the case and say we lost. I don't want to stand in that situation that we lost. I want to be in the situation where we are ready to determine and stop the underpin, the support. Gbogbo support the Britain bá fẹ́ fún Nigeria. Nígbà tá bá fẹ́ jáde fún rally, we must destroy it. Gbogbo structure the Britain bá fẹ́ fún Nigeria. They were able to do it successfully because some of us are still playing to the gallery of these countries. Agbọ́dọ̀ wà determined. It's either we move out of Nigeria today, or Nigeria will come and fight every one of us wherever